Hi, folks. Welcome to a very special edition of Diplomacy Cast. On Memorial Day weekend, David Hood ran virtual DixieCon, an event that had 80 players from all over the world participating in 20 games of diplomacy in one day. There were 11 boards in the morning and 9 in the evening. The game that follows comes from the evening round. I had to drop out a little bit after midnight, but thankfully we had a special guest come in to finish up the broadcast. I'm Chris Martin, and I'll stab you soon.
Big Four, which finds Andre Janeco in Austria, George Linkert, a Minnesota player in England, the one and only Andrew Goff finding himself in France, Steve Koehler in Germany, one of two Koehlers. This is the younger or the old? This is the elder, yeah?
The elder, yes.
Tony Bilzi, who we've seen on the comments recently. Shout out to you, Tony, in Italy. William Herkewitz in Russia, and Gabe Racz in Turkey. Hope I'm saying that last name approximately correctly. Siobhan, you're up. What do you see here?
All right. No bounce in Galicia. Russia opens north. First bounce in Burgundy, I think this round, at least.
That wasn't a self.
Right.
That wasn't a self-bounce. That's correct. I like Venice to Tunis. Not enough Italians do that.
In a one, yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Deeply
I mean,
move.
it's a lot of fairly vanilla. The French moves, yeah.
Well, remember we saw this before. I talked about this. This is a popular opening in Chicago. We talked about this in the context of the Army moves the same, whereas Brest went to English Channel, and none of us really liked that. But here we see Brest going to the Mid-Atlantic.
So better.
And you have the best of all worlds here if you're France with the bounce in Burgundy. I mean, in Chicago, we would often arrange this bounce and bounce it from Marseille rather than Paris, precisely so you can do the convoy and you get to sit with the fleet in Mid-Atlantic. Who is this? This is Andrew Goff. So really anything's on the table.
You know what? Yeah.
Right.
Well, I like that David Hood took the trouble to name this game after Andrew Goff, anticipating that he will win the next World Champion.
Yeah. It's absolutely. But
That's what we'll call him. Hey, Big Four.
Yeah.
That'd be a thing.
Very good.
So yeah, the only player who's got play on Belgium is England.
And has to take it with the fleet if he wants to also take Norway.
Belgium.
Has to take Norway with the fleet if he wants to take Belgium.
That's correct.
That's what I'm saying. Nice when you say the opposite of what you mean. Okay, and then Russia has the choice, as always, in the north of either bouncing in Norway or going to Finland. And you might see England actually support himself to Norway for that reason, right?
Yeah.
Although with Belgium sitting there, you never know. Okay.
Yeah, the Russian North opening changes a lot for England there. So
let's see what happened here. That's supports the fleet into. This is not something you see very often. Siobhan, you gasped as well. Do you want to explain why this is perhaps less than advisable?
I mean, the Russian has made it abundantly clear with his moves that he's committing at least half of his forces and truly splitting to make effort against you. Army St. Pete, the only person that can hurt this early in the game is England. And you've got an army that is doing literally nothing else, has nothing to protect on the island. Like, I mean, convoy it to Norway and support that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris looks like he might disagree with me, so.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, clearly the convoy is the best move. The optimal move here is to convoy it across and support it from the Norwegian.
Yep.
You don't ever want to leave the North Sea as England, right? It's
There's
the definition of your soft underbelly, right?
Yeah.
Leaving the army on the island argues to France that you don't want to come after me. Leaving the North Sea argues that you will be able to come after me whenever you want to, because I don't know, and I'm sorry, George, I'll love you. I don't know what I'm doing. But the reason if you were going to do this, that you put the North Sea Fleet in, is that you worry about Denmark going to the North Sea and cutting support.
Yeah.
So you have to build. But you leave the North Sea to Germany under those circumstances. And you're right on the cusp of a rant here, because no, don't do that. Don't do that.
What do you think the exchange rate is for North Sea in terms of dots?
2.
Easily 2, if not more.
At least.
Sorry, go ahead, Siobhan.
The North Sea is the most useful non-supply center on the map, and is more useful than 90% of the supply centers on the map. Like,
No dots in the water. It doesn't get you 18 if you're on 17. But boy, howdy.
it will lose you several if someone else is there.
You're unlikely to get anywhere close to 18 if you don't have it in your northern power. What would you guys rate as the next most important positional space on the board? Let's do a top 3 here. So the obvious ones: Ionian, Galicia, Burgundy, Black.
Black Sea, yeah. Anything that is a transit spot between powers is key. Anything that's on the salient line, Munich, right? They change during different phases of the game, right? The North Sea is super important early. After about 1904 or 5, in a lot of games, it becomes completely irrelevant. Same Western Med. Nobody cares about the Western Med in the first 2 game years, generally speaking.
Super important later.
Yeah.
And Ionian doesn't usually become contested until Turkey gets some fleets going,
or France, but yeah. Yep.
But so in the early game, then Galicia is probably next up there. Would you say?
And that's why leaving it empty like this is so powerful in an RA. Yeah, look at RA setup.
No, it's gorgeous.
Moving the fleet over to Romania instead of putting the army in, freeing Sev for the build. It's great. I love this if you're Austria. But look at Trieste and Venice just looking at each other like, hey.
I'm not moving.
Yeah, it's a really nice point actually about Galicia, because it's really powerful if you're in it, but it's also really powerful if no one's in it.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Putting those empty spaces, between powers that want to work together gives you a lot of opportunity that you don't have. And a lot of players would support Ukraine down here on general principle. I don't want to leave Sev open. But no, this is a great way of saying to Austria, let's work together, and Turkey had better watch his back.
Oh, yeah.
Now, so one corollary to this, Austria gets 2 builds, and so as you put down 2 armies, does he have enough to do if he leaves Romania alone?
Yes. What he's got are the kinds of options you dream of as Austria. Oh, look, Italy built a 2nd fleet. Hey, Italy, run in on Turkey, will you? Venice, right? Out of the gate. And then Italy goes like, I'm not getting any dots over there, and I've lost a home center, and I'm on 3. I guess I'll go to the Adriatic. But they're crippled. And if you've got a good Russia alongside of you, you can. And then there's build 6 and 7, right? Bulgaria and Venice, and then you go and take Munich with the Russia, who's yes, there's plenty to do.
Love it.
All right, let's see what kind of builds we got. So the option is here if Italy does not either convoy to Apulia or move Naples to Apulia, if Austria wanted to go. But we have
completely invalidating my theory here.
So we were singing your praises a minute ago. Just move back a couple of minutes and soak in that, and then don't listen to this, because that was not the right.
So okay, well, and we've got
Andrew Goff's
waves of build. Goodness.
He
that's on someone's thing
with one hand tied behind his back. He needs some kind of handicap. We need to start him with one less center or something. That ain't fair to everybody else.
Easy. To answer in the comments, did Chris have sugar between the last cast and now? No, he's just GMing fewer games.
Less distracted is really the answer.
Major props to Mitch and Corey for picking some of that up for him.
Yes.
But is this the build phase equivalent of ordering all of your units to Albania?
It's the classic, hey, this is super strong no matter who you are as France. You've got a build-in pocket, you're moving your units back, nobody's attacked you yet. Everybody's disincentivized from attacking you because if they do, you just put down the unit that fights them. So you want to buy another army here? Germany, great. Come on in. You want to buy another fleet in England? You can't. So never mind.
I'm very curious to know, and perhaps we'll get a chance to ask Andrew this later, if his build decision was influenced by England, the way that England took Norway, vacating north and leaving the army at home. It's a very France-friendly way to do this. And I mean, France has just nothing to worry about for well over a game year at this point.
It's a very German-friendly way of doing it as well.
Yeah, it's just
not super Russia-friendly. I mean, Russia bought and paid for that. Yeah, I hate that army in Warsaw, right? Siobhan, you hate that army in Warsaw.
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah.
It just feels like a strategic blunder.
What's the point of it? Where's it going to go?
I mean, it's going to defend against Austria, who we thought was on board with Russia, but we may have read too much into that. And that's, we do that, right? All we see are the moves, and we try and infer the diplomacy behind them to make them make sense.
But this was a very strong pro-AR move for Russia to take this with the fleet. So for me, I would be inclined to think that maybe something happened in the negotiation phase and the build phase that spooked Russia.
Sure.
But it feels like a lost opportunity in the meta stuff. This is our Andrew Goff board, who waved a build and put down one army. He's got George Linkert in England and Steve Koehler in France. All right. Whose turn is it here? Is it Chris's or?
Might be me.
All right, Chris.
I'll take it.
Talk to us about spring 1902.
Goff shifts his units without pissing anybody off. Italy tries to get to North Africa for the bingo card. Austria bounces Italy in the Ionian and rolls on Tyrolia. This is going to be a problem for Italy.
Yeah.
Fleet gets blowed up as Austria and Turkey are making a bid for doing this thing together. Russia correctly bounces Berlin out of Prussia, but fails on the support of St. Petersburg to hold needed to. Well, that's going to happen. Conservatively.
That's very curious, right? I mean,
Western triple-esque, except Germany's like, can I please have Belgium, Mr. Goff, sir?
Please, Goff, can I have some more?
Like you must.
And Goffy gives it to him, right? Like,
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's push it. Fall 1902. Siobhan, your turn.
Goffy does not give it to him, it turns out.
England conspires to prevent it.
Okay, so there goes that whole Western triple idea as Barents pulls back to Norway and Norway goes to Skag and there's a bounce in Belgium. Meanwhile, Goff pivots everything back, Burgundy, Piedmont, Western Med, and Italy loses Venet. Oh, yeah. Italy.
Mm-hmm.
You poor thing. You poor thing.
This pair of moves, on most players who would do this, you see players make an ineffective attack on Italy in this sort of situation, and they waste units doing it. And in this case, not only would it be silly to assume that Goff is doing something that's that ineffective, but there's an obvious reason why he would want to put units over here, and it's this guy getting too big and having too easy a time with this guy. So the units are not coming over to threaten Italy; they're coming over to help him.
And let's not forget, he's got a build-in pocket. Doesn't need to pick up a dot. He can build whatever he wants, and all of his dots are open. The world is his oyster.
What does he put down here, Siobhan?
God, I don't know. It's Andrew Goff. Chris is nodding like he knows. Go ahead, Chris. You're smarter than me.
You think he waves it again, Chris?
Wave.
Matt, what's your prediction? Wave or unit build?
I think either wave or a Southern Fleet. I don't think there's any reason to build an army, and I don't think Fleet Brest does anything right now.
No worry about the German armies here?
You convinced England to attack Germany.
Yeah.
I think England and Germany are entangled enough.
Yeah.
I think he builds, and yeah, I'm with Matt. I think it's the Southern Fleet.
All right.
I could see him waving it again. I really could.
Oh, it's already there.
Okay, well, we know nothing. Excellent.
So,
To be concerned about the German armies, right? Is the answer.
Yeah. Okay, maybe he's more concerned than I thought he would be.
yeah, same.
I would be personally, but with Goff, there's this second level of 4-dimensional chess being played.
He's in the fifth dimension.
Yeah. We got a German fleet, so Germany is clearly hoping that this will encourage someone else to pick a side here. An Austrian fleet, yes.
Oh, nice.
That
That's gotta be on somebody's bingo card, yeah.
That should be on the bingo card.
Oh,
Austrian
it should
fleet,
be. Okay, I'll add it for next time.
Austrian fleet in 1902 or 1903. Okay, Matt Shields, spring 1903. Break it down for us.
All right, what do we got here? I think I'm seeing France attempting to support Italy back into Venice, which I'm sure he knew wasn't going to work, and sliding over to Tyrrhenian Sea, which comports with what you were saying, that he's coming down there to help Italy. Turkey is trying to get out of the box he's in a little bit and not having a lot of success. That's a good guess from Russia to bounce in Ukraine. I like that.
Curious that Romania doesn't offer support here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Austria is doing in that situation. It feels a little bit like he's slow playing it, and I'm not sure there's a reason to do that.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have tried to talk my way into Ukraine in that situation. Like, find one of those two who would rather me be there than the other one be there.
Well, it's worth pointing out that if Turkey were in Ukraine, then Turkey taking Moscow and Austria taking Warsaw is, a really obvious thing to happen here.
Oh, yeah, and I think that's great, in which case, why didn't he support the move, right?
Yep.
That's interesting. That's the most interesting thing in that season I see. In the north, looks like England got Sweden with Russian help, so that's great.
And Denmark as well. Yep.
Yeah.
And Denmark as well, and France takes Belgium. So, yeah, not looking so great for Germany.
Yeah, Germany correctly figures out that Russia's not going to be on board with him. And I think makes the best of a bad situation with his fleets. It looks to me like Sweden retreated to Skagerrak there.
That's
So
right.
he's got Helgoland, Baltic, Skagerrak, Kiel, making a strong play for Denmark again. But
It's 3-on-3, right?
yeah, no out, right?
He's got Ruhr, so he's got 4 on. He's got 4 on Denmark, so he should be able to retake Denmark. Yeah.
There's a lot of guesses in there, too. Yeah, that's interesting.
No, he can. I think he can guarantee Denmark here.
I think he guaranteed if he takes it with Baltic. Is that right?
Yes.
Helgoland is cuttable. Skagerrak is cuttable. Baltic is cuttable. The only support that's not cuttable is Kiel. So then can he cut all the relevant supports? He can cut North Sea. He can cut.
I think.
Skagerrak has to be the mover with support from Kiel. Baltic cuts Sweden. Helgoland supports north. Cuts north.
Yeah.
There's also an empty Norway in there that England has to worry about.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Right. So okay, good. And then let's keep going here. It is Siobhan, you're up, I believe, or is it Chris?
It's probably me. I was distracted, so I haven't even been talking. So.
Well, actually think it's Chris.
All right, it's Chris' turn.
Russia turns again. Puts Germany back into Sweden.
Oh.
Yikes.
Austria.
But also takes
Austria takes Warsaw in the most aggressive way possible, but at least offers the Black Sea, offers Romania to Turkey as a good friend and ally.
Oh yeah.
They force the Ionian, and but Holland gets piffed.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of them not convoying the army to do this, right?
Same.
North Sea should have convoyed.
Oh boy, there's
right?
no reason not to, right?
Yep. Except that now Denmark has a place to retreat, and it retreats to the North Sea.
Still, you'd rather have an army in Holland.
There, Sweden should at least be supporting Denmark to hold.
Yeah.
Even if it's cut. Yeah.
Okay.
Power of play by Russia here on their way out.
How do you feel about the AT? Balanced enough? Imbalanced? Siobhan, take that one.
I mean, I think Austria's getting what Austria usually gets in situations like this, where they get the early dots but spread themselves out.
I mean, Turkey's an Ionian, right?
Turkey just got into Ionian, and it's a very weak Italy and a France who just is barely. His presence in the Med isn't even worth mentioning, it seems like. So, I think in the long run, Turkey wins.
In the AT.
In the AT, yeah.
Between France and Turkey, who would you rather be here?
Between France and Turkey?
Would you rather be Andrew Goff or somebody else?
Would I rather be next to Andrew Goff? Or no,
Yeah.
Oh no, actually Andrew Goff. That's right. He was Germany in the last game. No, I think I'd still rather be France.
I love this Austrian position.
I don't.
Me too.
Oh, I love playing Austrian. I don't like it.
You
What
got
do you love about it, Chris?
here. You got Turkey moving around you, but not getting builds. You're getting builds. France has come into the bed, is ineffectually propping up Italy, right? Forcing Turkey to devote all its forces out there while not getting any builds. You're getting a build. Slap another army in Vienna. Go take Munich, right? It's you're not going to solo from here as Austria, but you're unlikely to get stabbed by Turkey either.
Mm-hmm. You feel the same way, Fields? Matt?
I think I do. Turkey's pretty fleet heavy, so he's not really in that great of a position to stab. Like, I'm having a hard time seeing where the Turkish stab comes from. I mean, obviously, eventually he could find a way, but right now I don't see a good way for him to do that. It seems like Turkey is forced just to go around him and try to plow through the mid.
Sure.
Which will work, but it's slow.
All right. We will see what happens. Here are the builds. Austrian army in Trieste.
Yep.
Vienna. And we have a fleet build here. A fleet build in London's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
We will come back and see if anyone ever attacks Andrew Goff. This one was where, Goff delayed a build for does he? No, he actually, just 1 year. Yeah. Okay, but he also picked up Belgium, right? So 2, 4, 6. Yep. Okay. Let's see here. And we have
London.
Right. So the question was there any trouble brewing? We thought likely not, but you never know. Let's just jump forward here. 1904.
No
spring.
trouble brewing. Okay.
Is this Siobhan or Chris? I forget.
I have up.
All right, Chris, go for it.
So England and France continue to successfully wage war against Germany. Belgium goes to Ruhr. Holland retreats to Belgium graciously. Thank you very much, Andrew. You're such a good ally. Allowing him to retreat there. Austria kicks him out of Piedmont. Well played there. And holds in Silesia. Turkey puts Austria into Ukraine and takes Romania behind him for good measure, but says, hey, let someone take him. Look, I'm moving my army away. And Austria and Italy are kind of lockstep, I think, as far as that's concerned. Yeah, Silesia not supporting Warsaw to hold seems counterintuitive.
That's gotta be a mistake, right?
But they are guaranteed to retake Warsaw and take Moscow. So, yeah.
Or Berlin if he really wants to. Okay, and then Tyrrhenian Sea goes into Naples here. Slightly surprising, I think.
As Naples adjusts, probably by invitation.
Yep.
Yeah.
but they're not going to be able to retake Venice. So we'll see if Tyrrhenian Sea stays there. But he now has the fleet here to follow up if he wants to.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
Fall
guessing
19.
that, Turkey
Ron.
stabs Austria? For
Does
good?
he? I mean, okay, so Turkey stabs Austria.
And
Picks up Rome and Greece from him.
I mean, okay, Romania. Okay, he doesn't support him to Moscow. Maybe they just couldn't come to agreement. But Austria lucks into Warsaw.
Already owned Warsaw. So down to from Romania and Greece.
Yeah.
So Russia walked into Warsaw in the spring, which was
And
Austria.
Andrew Goff in Ionian as France.
in fall of 1904.
And England picks up St. Petersburg. And England is allowed to hold Belgium. You know?
Goff is pulling a piece, though. No. Oh, he is, yeah, because Munich, he did
Belgium gains nothing. Yep.
Rick Dusper in the comments asks, if Turkey is stabbing, why not walk into Budapest? It's because the unit in Romania is a fleet.
Yep.
Yeah. Germany is doing here. Germany picks up Holland.
Yeah.
This is a bit of this could be a bit of a realignment here in the West. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you pull if you're Goff here? Hard to pull Ionian, right?
Marseille, the Piedmont, Army Piedmont, right?
Yeah. Has to be.
Maybe,
Or pick. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
all right. Let's see what happens.
And this game has ended in a draw in 2 years. So.
Yeah. We can zoom right through to the actual end of this game.
So, I believe, Chris, you are up for Spring 05.
Yeah, Austria getting jacked by Turkey in the worst possible way, and Russia being like, ha ha! England continuing to work against Germany. Germany going, please attack. Please attack France. You got a perfect opportunity. You can't be stopped from taking Brest. Just do it. England's like, nah, I'm good. So
And
this
the
is
Austrians-
you see why this is going to a draw here real quick.
Yeah.
This is a little tragic, though, for Austria. I think if Austria supports Munich here, Ruhr gets popped, and Austria and Germany are much better off. Especially in the spring, taking Berlin here, not a good move.
Short-sighted, and yep.
So, and yeah, this looks like a mess. It's hard to see Austria surviving to this draw, I have to say.
Nope. Turkey, England, France.
I'm just going to say, a few seasons ago, y'all were trying to sell me on the merits of Austrian position, and I was like, no, I don't like it. And you and Matt were...
He messed up.
Yeah.
I think so.
So.
This is unexpected, though. Austria and Germany working it out and keeping Munich, but France
takes Venice.
Yep.
Love it.
And French fleet Adriatic would have gotten into Trieste if Turkey hadn't been like, guess what?
There are no fleets from the North Atlantic all the way down to the Western Med.
That's right.
North Atlantic, Irish, English, MAO, West Leon, all empty.
So tasty.
All right, and England gets the convoy over. And for builds,
Army. Yep. Germany pulls.
Yeah.
Army.
Yep.
Austria pulls fleet.
Just later if you need to know why that's not very surprising.
Yep.
And Chris Martin, you're up for Spring 1906.
I guess the surprise here is the Italian disband of Ionian rather than retreating to Tunis. Shows kind of a lack of enthusiasm, maybe?
Resignation.
Like a little bit.
Andrew gets the French fleet into Trieste, as one does, retakes Munich, although he could have taken it by pulling Burgundy forward, ironically. What's Charlie doing? Oh, Austria had said, "Screw y'all! I'm not even bothering to write orders."
Looks like NMR here.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough. This is definitely a kind of Icarus situation. Where you,
Very bad. Yeah, no opportunity for you, Austria.
So the question for me now, it looks like Germany is going to make it to the draw.
Or might vote himself out. It's Steve Koehler. He could vote himself out legitimately here.
All right, and then
That's it. That is all she wrote, boys.
That is it.
Yep.
All right.
Wait a second. I can ask in the Jim's room. This is 2G.
Yeah, who actually is in the draw here?
G what?
Yeah, and I see Goffy who's active in the chat. How many people were in the draw itself?
I'll just pull up the backstabber page. It looks like England, France, and Turkey. No surprise.
Yep.
Checks out. Okay.
They broke the rest of them.
And Goffy did say that the Austrian moves in that last turn were not in NMR.
They were just holds. So
They
he
were
just said,
like,
all right, take your draw.
I'm voting myself out.